Imagine setting up an agricultural collective in the second most drought afflicted area in India, a collective that promotes eco restoration, organic farming, sustainable living, and agro farming. C.K. Ganguli and his wife Mary zeroed in on the Anantpur district to create opportunities for the community. From 32 acres of barren land to 2,800 hectares of regenerated forest, 250 water bodies and streams revived and thriving, 1,190 organic farmer families tilling 3,570 acres of land. The power of the people is manifest in every single aspect of the Timbuktu collective. Please welcome C.K. Ganguli.
I'll tell you.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Namaste. At the outset, I must apologize. I can speak to you in Marathi, Gujarati, Hindi, Bengali, Telugu, but I can't speak to you in Hindi, in Tamil. So please excuse me. Secondly, I must say that I'm very impressed by the audience. I thought after lunch people will usually, drift away, but this is a full house still waiting, and I am very impressed. Thank you very much. I am not used to speaking to such big audiences. But post-lunch, if people are feeling sleepy, please raise your hands. I'll try and wake you up. People are feeling sleepy? Only 3. Wow. Okay, so everybody is up. I'll try and tell you my story. As you understand, I didn't understand much of what was being talked by the people who came before me because it was all in Tamil and I don't understand Tamil. But I guess from the tone and from a few bits and pieces of translation, I got the understanding that people have been telling us all about what the problems are and how we must change and we must do so many things. Am I right? Yeah. So I won't go into all that. I'll only go into telling you what we have done in Anantapur district, if it makes any sense to you. But first, I must say that I started working in Anantapur district about 40 years ago. At that time, we were working towards rights of agricultural laborers and peasants. We formed the Andhra Pradesh Federation of Agricultural Laborers. We wrote the first draft of the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. We fought for land to the landless. We released about 10,000 acres of land. We fought for agricultural wages. It was 5 rupees a day at that time for men and 3 rupees a day for women. We brought it up to 50 rupees, by which time the government passed the Minimum Wages Act. So we did all that, but that did not really fulfill us. So Mary, my wife and partner, we decided to, we had by then read Masunobu Fukuoka, of whom you may have heard. One of our speakers spoke about him. We got trained in permaculture by Bill Mollison himself. And then we started reading Kumarappa. And at that time we decided that we have to do something else. We have to do something more positive, something more creative. So we decided to buy some land. And This land is in Anantapur district. It's about 32 acres. You can see where Timbuktu is. This is in the middle of the Deccan Plateau. And this is how Anantapur district looks like. From 11% forest area in 1947, it has come down to a little less than 1% forest area. Over the last 40 or 50 years, with the government intervention, it has become a monocropping groundnut area. So almost all its 24 lakh hectares of land in Anantapur district is under monocrop groundnut, possibly the largest in this country and in the world as a district. So which means that a whole generation of farmers have forgotten how to do multi-cropping, organic farming. Now we have our flora there. The leopard has come back. More than 112 bird varieties have come back. We have 15 varieties of snakes and of course rabbits and a whole lot of peacocks and the grey wolf in the area. So this was our starting point, but then we went on to thinking about doing other things. We started working in a small group of villages, in about 10 villages, and then started doing some work with people there. And then today we are working in 173 villages with about 20,000, 21,000 families. And we have promoted 13 cooperatives. Basically, our whole vision is that rural communities should take control of their own lives, and laborers to empower them in various different ways, to promote sustainable and viable producer-owned cooperatives, regenerate the ecology and take up conservation, revitalize the local economy. This is our strategy that we have been following over the many years. So our interventions in that place basically has been to work with women, which we call the Swashakti program, and then we have the Chiguru program that is for children, the work with ecology, we call it Kalpavali, the work with disability, we call it Milita, the work with farmers, we call it Dharani, and then we have started quite a few producer-owned cooperatives. Quite briefly, Swashakti is all about women and banking and creating credit facilities for the women. Today, we have been working on different aspects with the women, and there are now, I think, about 21,022 members in 173 villages. We have formed 4 cooperatives of women, and they have about 20 crores, which is their own money. This is not money from outside. This is not money from any bank or any financial institution. This is not money from any government or any external donor agency. This is money that has been collected by the women, 10 rupees to 20 rupees every month, and they have created a banking system which revolves 20 crores, and today they have a loan portfolio of about 18.2 crores. Of the 4 thrift cooperatives, 3 of them are completely financially sustainable and independent. Chiguru is our work with children, and we have been working with about excuse me, with about 2,000 children in about 45 villages, talking to them about ecological rights, organizing them, and forming sanghas of children. But we also have a small school that we run. We used to run 2 schools right up to class 10, but because the government education system, the schools have started improving, we decided to make our school small, and we work with only those children who need our care and assistance. So we work with a small group of children and run it, and we run children's resource centers where we create spaces for children, and those spaces are controlled and owned by the children. Just some photographs of the kids. We then have our very important program, the same work that we did in Timbuktu, where we regenerated a whole forest. We've been working in a whole watershed, which has one tank, and then has about 9,000 acres of land on the top, which we have been trying to regenerate and create into a biodiversity reserve and a conservation area. This is the tank. You may know that Anantapur district is well known for the tanks that were built more than 500, 600 years ago. These tanks are 500 to 600 acres in size, and these tanks are slowly becoming defunct. So we have been trying to revive some of these tanks. Here's the same tank when there is rain in that area. Just on the above in the watershed, this is how the watershed, this is about 7,500 contiguous area of land which is designated as wasteland. You see, the government, neither the government nor most of the people understand what is a grassland ecology. Our place is a grassland ecology, and it is one of those very rare places where biodiversity is huge, but nobody recognizes it and calls it wasteland. So this land we took up for protection, and with the help of 9 villages, we have protected this. This is one of the early photographs of that place, and this is one of the more recent photographs of that place. And this has become one of the main centers for the grey wolf. I don't know how many of you know, but the grey wolf is one of the most endangered species of wolves that are dying out. And this is one of the areas where the grey wolf has made its home. So has the black buck, and of course many other species of birds and other animals. Milita is the work that we do with people with disabilities. I will not go into a lot of details about that, but basically that's about 1,500 people with disabilities we have been working towards their livelihood enhancement, towards home-based rehabilitation and advocacy for them. And they also have been formed, the adults have been formed into a cooperative, which is doing a very interesting business that I will talk to you about. These are just some photographs of that. Okay, so a lot of people have been talking about farming today. So I'm going to tell you about our work about farming. Our area, as I told you, is one of the most drought-prone areas in this country. And for the last 4 years, we've had no rain. And this is the 5th year. Last year at this time, even though there were the last crops were not okay, we had sown already 2 lakh hectares by around this time, last year. This year, we have sown only 48 hectares. You can understand that no rain has come this year at all. And let us pray that in the next 10 days it rains. Otherwise, we'll all have to give up agriculture then. So, basically, we have been doing a lot of work with farmers, and we work with about 2,000 farmers now in the area. And we have tried to help them and restore their soil and do biomass regeneration. There is almost 20,000 tons of compost being made there every year by the farmers. And this is hopefully helping them to regenerate their lands. We are using the biodynamic form of doing composting. So among many other things, we also use the PGS, or the Participatory Guarantee System of organic certification. So we have also imported cattle because all our cattle has become quite useless. So we have imported something like 2,000 heads of cattle from Karnataka to help the farmers do organic farming. Just some photographs of this stuff. I'm trying to rush through it because I think you are getting a little restless. What we are right now trying to do is develop producer-owned companies, producer-owned organizations or business enterprises. I already told you about the women's cooperatives, the 4 women cooperatives, which are also business enterprises, but they don't deal with the outside market. We have first started Thalai Farming and Marketing Cooperative Society, which has 2,113 members, about 12,026 acres of organic land. And that by that I mean that 100% organic. There is no chemical used in any of the processes, and almost all the inputs are made by the farmers themselves. So we run 3 processing units, value addition units, and packaging plants. The main crops we deal with is groundnut, millet, and pulses. Though we do other things, we do 8 varieties of millets and groundnuts and pulses. The total paid up share capital is 77 lakhs, and it has assets worth 2.53 lakhs. I don't know if you're interested in all those things, but all I wanted to say is that we started this cooperative sometime in 2006 with loans from friends and members and etc., etc. And it took us almost till 2011 before we started to break even. And then in 2012, we started paying bonus to the members and to the farmers. And then the first member bonus to the wage laborers who were working in the cooperative. And then a net profit in 2014-15. And last year, the year before last, we crossed a revenue surplus of 2 crores. And this year, we've crossed 2.5 crores. So Dharni is actually quite a successful producer organization, and many of you may know it's being sold in many of the Tamil Nadu towns. It's called Timbuktu Organic. The brand name is Timbuktu Organic, and it is now quite well known in the organic circles. Well, the most important thing in this is that we have consistently tried to see that for every 100 rupees of material or products bought by the customers, at least 50 rupees must go back to the farmer. This is our USP. This is what we aim to do. We do not want anything less than at least 50 rupees going back to the farmer. The fact of the matter is that a lot of people are selling food produced by the farmers. There are a lot of people who are collecting and selling, aggregators. There are lots of farmer organizations who are selling. But the fact of the matter is not more than 10 to 20% is going back to the farmers. Here we are trying and attempting to keep it above 50%. Right now, for every packet or every 100 rupees of millet or kurra, I don't know what you call it, it's a foxtail millet. For every 100 rupees of foxtail millet sold to you, 52 rupees goes back to the farmer after all the costs. Yeah. Of course, today we have 320 retail and bulk customers. We have about 40,000 customers who are accessing all this food. There are retail share of the total sales. The retail share is 80%, and the millet's total share is 50%. The prices are amongst the lowest in the organic players in the industry, in the country. Our next producer company or a cooperative is the Gram Sri cooperative, which is an agricultural laborers cooperative, and this cooperative has only about 600 members, I think about 800 members now, and this is giving loans and helping farmers to, or agricultural laborers to buy and sell sheep. So this is some of their work. I think time is getting up, so I'll finish faster. So the important thing about this producer cooperative is that we have invested totally about 45 million from outside, and there's about 0.45 million from inside, from the farmers in 2014 and 16. We are absolutely sure that by 2018 they will become completely self-sufficient. And in 2018 March, they plan to go into the meat business, to sell organic meat that does not have any chemical in it, and this will happen from 2018. We also run a small weavers unit, which is already self-sufficient, and they produce, I think 16 different products, from saris to stoles to towels to all sorts of things. And then we have a soap making unit, which is run by the Disabled People's Cooperative, which is now just entering into the market. It's a very good soap, and it's completely organic, made only from organic soaps. So everything that we are dealing with is completely organic. We don't use chemicals. There is not a drop of chemical that is used in Timbuktu, where I live, and there is no chemicals used in any of the other products that we are buying or selling. Thank you. There is a short, very short, only about 7 minutes movie, a video that has been made on a farmer. Of course, it's in Telugu, but with subtitles in English. I would request you to please have a look at it. It will tell you his perspective.
First చూసినాడేమో వచ్చిపోయే జనాలు వాళ్ళల్లో ఏంద్రా ఇటు పెట్టాను, ఏంది ఎప్పుడో చిరుధాన్యాలు వేసుకుంటాము, అది ఏమైతుంది ఏం లేదో, ఇది ఇంతే ఉంది కదా, జాండే ఉంది అనే మూమెంట్ లో అంతా అనుకుంటూ పోయినారు. అది అయిన తర్వాత కొంచెం అట్లా ఈ మూమెంట్కి వస్తున్నట్లే ఏం అంత బాగుంది, ఏం పైరు అని వచ్చిపోయే జనాలంతా నన్ను అడిగే ఉన్నారు. మేమైతే ఫస్ట్ కాలెకరాలు, మళ్ళీ అర్ధ ఎకరా, మళ్ళీ ముక్కాలు, ఎకరా, 1.5 అట్లా స్టేజ్ సంవత్సరము పెంచుకుంటాను వచ్చాము. మొలక తానుంటే కూడా వేరే రైతులైతే రసాయనాలతోనే మనిషికి ఒక మందు, విష పదార్థంతోనే అంతా కుట్టుతానంటే హైట్ కోసుకునేదాకా మనం తినే వరకు కూడా విషంతోనే కలిపేసి ఇస్తున్నారు. కాబట్టి మనం నానా రకాల రోగాలు వస్తున్నాయి. మేము వేసినట్టు 10, 15 ఏళ్ళు దాకా చేసినాము. సారం లేకుండా అయిపోయింది. భూమిలో సారం లేక ఏమి పండుకోకుండా దానికోసము మేము ఉరిన అయిపోయినాము. ఏం చేసేదాన్ని ఇంకా టింబక్టు తరపున చిరుధాన్యాలుగా మీరు రసాయనాలు లేకుండా సేంద్రియంగా పండించచ్చు, ఈ పంట వేయడం మీరు బాగుంటుంది అని చెప్పి సలహాలు ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళ సూచనల మేరకనే మేము వేస్తాము. మళ్ళీ రైతులు పంటలు ఎట్లా పెట్టాలా దాంట్లో ప్రణాళిక చేసుకుంటాము. పొలం బడులు పోతాము. ఆ బృందాల వారికి ఏమేమి కీటకాలు ఉన్నాయి, మనకు శత్రు పురుగులు ఏమున్నాయి, శత్రు పురుగులు ఏమున్నాయి అని ప్రతి ఒక్కటి పరిశీలన చేస్తాం. కాబట్టి ఆడే మనం రైతుతో నిర్ణయం చేసుకొని ఏ కషాయం చేసుకొని కొడితే బాగుంటుంది ఈ పంటకి. శనక్కాయ కూడా వేస్తున్నాము. అయినా ఇదైతే ఏమి పెట్టుబడి లేకనే కొంచెం పెట్టుబడితోనే వస్తుంది. వేరుశెనగ అయితే తినడానికి కూడా విపరీతమైన ఖర్చులు వస్తాయి, దానికి రోగాలు వస్తాయి ఎక్కువ. ఇప్పుడు చిరుధాన్యాలు అంటేనే చాలా మంది రైతులు మేము వేస్తాము శనక్కాయ తగ్గించుకుందాము, ఎగ్ పంట కాదు ఏమో దాన్ని ఏం వేసిన ఏం అయ్యలేదు.
ఇక్కడ ఇది ఊదుర పొలంలో, అక్కడ పైభాగంలో ఎర్రకొర్ర, ఇంకొంచెం పైభాగంలో ఉలవ, జొన్న, మరి పెసర, వేరుశనగ అక్కడుంది. ఇంకా పైభాగంలో ధనియాలు, బుడ్డి శనగ.
దళారులు అయితే వేరుశనగ వేస్తే బయట వాళ్ళు అయితే వాళ్ళు చెప్పినట్లు మా ఊరికే బొమ్మలు నిలబడినట్లు నిలబడి వాళ్ళు 42 కేజీలు అంటే 50 కేజీలు వేసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోతారు. అట్లా కాకుండా ధరణి అయితే మనకి పంట అమ్మకాల గురించి అయినా లేవాదేవీలు బాగుంటాయి. ధరణి అమ్మకాలకి ఖచ్చితమైన తూకాలు, ఖచ్చితమైన రేటు ముందునే ఫిక్స్.
మారాలి సుస్థిర సేద్యము చేయాలి, సుఖ జీవనమే గడపాలి,
సుఖ జీవనమే గడపాలి.
చిరుధాన్యాలు వేసి మనము చిరునవ్వులతో బ్రతకాలన్నా నవధాన్యాలను పండించాలి, నవధాన్యాలను పండించాలి. పేరు పురుగుల నివారించి మొక్కల సాంద్రత పెంచాలి, సుఖ సేద్యం చేయాలి, సుఖ జీవనమే గడపాలి, సుఖ జీవనమే గడపాలి.
కాకపోతే ఇంతకు ముందు మేము పంటలు పండించే వాళ్ళమే, రైతు అమ్మే కొనే దాన్ని మార్కెటింగ్ చేసే శక్తి మానవ లేదు రైతుకి. ఈ రోజు మేము ధరణి మార్కెట్కి అమ్ముతున్నాం. ఈ రోజు ధరణి వచ్చిన తర్వాత మేమే అమ్ముతున్నాం. అక్కడ పంట రకరకాలుగా దాన్ని పప్పు ధాన్యాలు చేస్తూ మార్కెటింగ్ మేమే చేస్తున్నాం. వచ్చే లాభాలు కూడా మేమే తీసుకుంటున్నాం, రైతులే. అదే అవకాశం ఇచ్చిన ధరణి మాకు అలాంటి అవకాశాలు ఇచ్చింది, అలా చేస్తున్నాం.
ఒక 6 ఏళ్ల క్రితం నుంచి నేను వాడుతున్నాను. నాకు రియల్గా మా యొక్క హెల్త్ పాయింట్లో కూడా డిఫరెంట్ కనపడింది. నాకే కాదు, మా మొత్తం ఫ్యామిలీ అంతా వాడుతున్నారు కాబట్టి దాని రిజల్ట్ అది వాడిన వాళ్ళకే తెలుస్తుంది. రెండవది వచ్చేసి వాళ్ళు అమ్మకము విషయంలో కూడాను మాకు తెలిసినంత వరకు వాళ్ళు ఇట్లా ఆర్గానిక్ పద్ధతిలో పండించేది ఇప్పుడుండే దాని బయట రేట్లు చూసుకుంటే కూడా పెద్ద రేటు మాకేం డిఫరెన్స్ ఏం కనపడలేదు.
ఆయన మంచి ఆహారం పండిస్తున్నాము, మేమంతే మంచి అదే ఫుడ్ తీసుకుంటున్నాము. ఆయన మంచి ధరణికి అదే ఇస్తున్నాము మేము. ఇంతకుముందంతా ఎక్కువ లేవు పక్షులు, ఈ సిద్ధాంతాల నుంచి ఎక్కువ పక్షులని అక్కడ దండిగా వస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు
మనం బాగున్నాం, ఆరోగ్యంగా చూడ బాగున్నాం. మా భార్య కానీ మేము కానీ అనారోగ్యంగా కనపడలేదు, అట్లా మాకు బాగుంది.